Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, traders and investors. This is Alex from MarketWise Asia. Thank you for watching this live stream. It is both on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. So if you are here right now, if you can hear me loud and clear, okay, please say a hi to me in the comments or in the chat box. So I really appreciate, okay, if you can engage with me, just say a hi to me just to make sure that everything is good, everything is well. Okay, I can see Dave. Thank you so much for saying hi to me. Okay, so it is the start of the year. Okay, my first live stream of the year. Okay, 2026. So we have officially kickstarted the year already. Okay, and you might have known that, okay, in fact, today's live stream, it is also on a Tuesday. So I think I mentioned that last year before, I think in December, okay, 2025, I mentioned that moving forward, if I were to do my live stream, okay, I wouldn't be doing on a previously usual Monday evening really. So it will be shifted to every Tuesday. Might not be every Tuesday, might not be every, but if I'm going to do, it will be a Tuesday, but it might not be every Tuesday. Okay, so the Monday will be reserved for my SVI members because as I mentioned, I find that preparing, okay, the weekly video update plus the public live stream is a little bit taxing for me. So I will shift my priorities to the weekly update on a Monday for my members, and then on Tuesday, okay, I will do the public live stream. Okay, so just say a hi to me. I can see that more people are streaming in already. Okay, so I can see Hadley also. Okay, HL6121 from YouTube. Okay, Alan also from YouTube. Ken Yap from Facebook. Okay, Fans306 at YouTube as well. Okay, thank you so much for being with me. Hey, Tarun, a long time no see. How have you been? Are you okay? Are you fine? Everything is good. Okay. All right. So yeah. So okay, let's kickstart this session. Okay. All right. So Richard. All right. Let me just share my screen right now. So as usual, my live stream I wouldn't be like doing for long hours. I mean, at most about 1 hours. Short, okay, 1 hour, about 1 hour, okay. So I mean that before I kickstart, just want to, maybe there'll be more people who are streaming in. Hey, oh, Tarun in Belgium, okay, so nice, okay, to tune in. Is the connection okay? All right, Shah, okay, all right. So yeah, so I think back to normal. I mean that before I kickstart, just to share with you, okay, if you realize, okay, whether you're in SVI or whether you are in the MarketWise Asia Telegram public group, right, okay, you realize that, okay, before the school holiday, okay, I will actually do a market wrap, okay, for the previous day, what the market has been doing. So for example, over here, let me just share my screen over there. So you can see over there, like for example, I will do a market wrap. For example, today morning, I did this, okay, I sent out. Because during holiday, I don't wake up so early because right now it is a school day already. So typically I wake up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, prep my girl to go to school, and after that I come back, okay, then I will see the stock market, how it has been doing. Okay, so what was the previous day, what it did. Okay, then I will get some summary, okay, from various sites, okay, and then compile the summary. So because holiday, I didn't wake up so early lah. So back to normal. Okay, so right now every morning, you should also receive this morning wrap from me and as well from the SVI members as well. Okay. So let me just share my screen, okay, over here. I mean that this is the usual one. Let me try to enlarge the screen. Okay. So you can see over there, okay, as usual, disclaimer first, whatever I share today, it is just for education purpose, not a recommendation to tell you what to buy or what to sell. Okay, so please do your own due diligence. And in short, okay, do follow us on our social media channel over there. So I will post this link in the comments over here. So it's a link, linktr.ee. It's a link tree comments / MarketWise Asia. So if you just head over to the link, you can see all our various Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, TikTok, X, and our homepage as well, okay, and our on-demand webinar as well, in case you are not aware, okay. Or you can just head over. I'll just do this page over there. So this is, there's a QR code over there. You can actually scan this QR code, okay, and get access to our social media channel, okay. So before I go into the economic data for this coming week, okay, just want to let you know just one more announcement, okay. All right, we will be having this, okay, the Trading Carnival 2026, okay, all right, at Suntec City on the 31st of Jan. That's the end of the month over there on a Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So it is the start of the year, okay. It is good to see and hear, okay, what our our speakers have to say, okay, our traders and investment speakers have to say about this coming year. So typically every year, new year, okay, there'll be a slightly larger crowd, okay, to just prep for the year and such. Okay, so this is the link. I'll post the link over here. Okay, in fact, this is the link over there. So this is the Trading Carnival over there. So I think you should be able to scan it on the QR code over there. Okay, so this is the Trading Carnival. Okay, all right, as I mentioned, 31st Jan, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right, so there will be 2 tickets, okay, VIP and also the free general ticket. So I mean that it is fine if you don't want to pay for the VIP. There is some perks, okay, for the VIP tickets is $18 per person over there. All right, so just to let you know, there also be a so-called goodie bag, okay, and if you fulfill some of the criteria, okay, from plus 500, our sponsor for this event, you also get a chance, okay, to get a free iPods Pro as well lucky draw as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, you want to know what is the market outlook for the year. So how many of you want to know, okay, what are the opportunities also and the outlook for 2026? Okay, type me in the comments. Okay, so let me know over there. All right, so as you can see, the VIP ticket, okay, there is a dedicated VIP counter. All right, complete access to the presentation deck, okay, exclusive front row and center seating, okay, and a guaranteed goodie bag worth $18. Okay, the rest is general registration, no access to the slides, free seating only for the first 100 attendees. So essentially, okay, it is like business class versus economy class. Okay, it is okay for you to get the economy class. It is free. So the general ticket, it is free. But if you have more perks, okay, all right, more entitlement, then you go for the VIP tickets over there. All right, so this, okay, so we have the speakers, our resident speakers, Jay Tun from Swing Trading will be speaking, okay, from plus 500, okay, this is Muhammad Alamer, okay, he is a gold trading expert and also a UAE licensed financial advisor. So this is the first time, okay, he is speaking and he'll be flying into Singapore as well. Okay, we have Alvin Chow, okay, CEO of Dr. Wealth, and also Chloe Lin, okay, the Argato investor. So this is the first time we are inviting her as well. And we have another speaker, Terence Wong, okay, we'll be doing also a panel discussion as well. Okay, so I don't go in so much detail about that. So generally, okay, you just head over to the landing page at the top. You can just click on the register now button. Okay, either you can opt for the VIP access pass, that is $18, or the free admission, okay, that is free, okay. All right, so then just register for this event and you are done. All right, so let's head back to the economic data for this week. So we are heading into the new year, okay, so we are a brand new year. So what are the economic data for this coming week? Okay, in fact, okay, today don't have okay. Now actually today have, okay, actually it is coming up, okay, Wednesday, it is actually the non-farm employment change, okay, and then the PMI, jobs opening there on Thursday, unemployment claim, and then on Friday, okay, this is the so-called the unemployment rate, and also the consumer sentiment, and also inflation expectation. So this week is, as usual, a lot of data releases that could also impact the market as well. Okay, it might not impact the market, or it could, but just to be aware what is happening in the market as well. Okay, and also just to let you know, so I also like to talk about options, right? So this year, okay, the options expiration calendar, it is also out already. So OPEX, very simple to remember, okay, bit.ly, OPEX 2026 over there. I'll post the link in the comments. Okay, I'll post this link in the comments over there. So let me just remove this QR code for the time being. Okay, so this is the 2026 options expiration. So we can normally, it is the usual one, the equities expiration, right? The ETF expiration. It is the third Friday of the month. In case you cannot see, So let me just zoom in. So the third Friday of the month, the 2nd of January is actually a Friday. So the third Friday of the month, it is actually 16th of January. Okay, 16th of January, that is essentially next week. Okay, so just head over to bit.ly and you can actually get access to the official CBOE options expiration calendar. So it is from them. I just shortened the link for you. Okay, cool. All right, if you think this is cool, okay, just type letter C in the chat. So for those who just joined me, I really appreciate you can give me a like, share, or comments as well over here. Okay, so before I continue, okay, and then into like the forecast of this year, general trend, I think which I mentioned last year also, okay, let's have a recap of what has happened last year, 2025. Okay, what is the return for some of the indices and also for some of the asset classes as well here. So let me just find my slide first, okay. So let me just, is it over here? Before I continue, okay, I think I want to let you know about this as well, okay? So I think previously we mentioned, I think last year, okay? I mean, just last month, okay? Just before the start of the year over there, okay? Where is it? Is it full screen? So let me just do this, okay? So I talked about the Santa Claus rally, okay? So this year, okay, last year, okay, the Santa Claus rally, actually it is the last 5 trading day of December and the first 2 trading day of December, okay? So do not have Santa Claus rally, okay? But anyway, January is a very good barometer. So as mentioned, that as January goes, so goes the year. So I mentioned about this January trifecta. Okay, it is actually mentioned in the I think it's the Stock Trader Almanac. Okay, trifecta, tri means 3 things lah. Okay, so which means that if we have these 3 things that is in sync together, okay, this will create a more powerful signal. So if you have a Santa Claus rally, if you have a Santa Claus rally, okay, which we didn't, okay, and if the first 5 trading days of January, it is positive. And if overall the January, okay, it is a positive month, it is an up month, okay, it is a green month, then we will have the trifecta signal, okay? So when all the trees are up, I think maybe you're blocked by the camera over there, but not important, okay? I'm there, you can just listen to me. S&P gain 90% of the time. So average gain is 17.7%. But we do not have these 3 things. So this is crossed already because we do not have a Santa Claus rally based from the S&P 500. Okay. So when any of them are down, so for example, out of the 3 things over there, okay, if don't have Santa Claus rally or if don't have the 5 days positive or do not have the January barometer. So if either of them do not have it, okay, S&P is only up about 60% of the time. So the average gain, it is only about plus 3.4%, okay? And if all 3 of them are down, which means that if there's no Santa Claus rally, there's no first 5 positive day, there's no first positive January month as well, okay? The year could be more difficult to navigate. So based on historical data, okay, S&P has an average loss of minus 2.6%. So it is going to be a bearish year, maybe not a crash, okay, but maybe a bearish year if all the 3 are down. So far, okay, we do not have a Santa Claus rally. So we are falling into these 2 categories, okay? If only any of them are down, S&P is only up 60.5% of the time. Everything clear so far? If you are clear on this, just type yes in the comments. So I'm just letting you know that there's no Santa Claus rally for this year. Okay, as in from December and January lah. Okay, so you can see over there, right? The rally last 5 trading days of the year, and the first 2. Okay, so if Santa Claus rally fail to call, bears may come to board and walk. Okay. So there's a potential so-called cause for concern over there. Okay, but again, it might not be. I mean that this is just based on historical data, but interesting to know over there. Okay, another one that we start off this is okay. Let's have a recap of what has happened in 2025. Okay, so these are all taken from, the data are all taken from Wall Street Journal. Okay, all taken from Wall Street Journal over there. So let me just expand. So just a very brief so-called a recap of what has happened. So before I continue, can anyone tell me, okay, what is the return of S&P 500 in 2025? Can anyone tell me? Just type it out real fast. Okay, if nobody type it out, then I will not continue. All right, so for those who are still waiting, okay, can at least give me a like, share, and comments now. Okay, right now we have about 70 people combining from Facebook and YouTube. I think most should be on YouTube lah. I think lesser people on Facebook. But anyway, you can give me a like, share, and comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give me subscribe to our channel and also like this video as well. If you're on Facebook, of course, do like and also subscribe to MarketWise Asia channel. All right, Tarun got it right, almost there. Okay, not exactly 17%, but it's actually, I think it's 16.6%, but very close. It is exactly like essentially the right answer. Okay, it is 16.6 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, all right, so okay, 16.4%. Okay, so at a glance over there, all right, the year, okay, Nasdaq Composite, okay, 20+% return. Okay, and the S&P, it is 16%. All right, the Dow Jones, it is also a 13% return. So all in all the three key indices have double-digit return. So technology was also the leader as of, I think not at the end of the year, but at the end of the year, actually, comms, XLC, okay, the comm sector actually is the leader. But anyway, okay, it is dominated by large cap, okay, all right, actionable return, okay, triple digit, okay, initially I mentioned already, okay, all right, so this one, S&P, the total stock market combining everything, okay, it is about 15% return, Dow Jones about 13% return, okay, so again, the tech heavy Nasdaq outperformed the S&P, not surprisingly, because tech was pretty strong in 2025, and of course S&P with all the other industry, okay, materials, crude oil, energy sector, industrial, etc. Okay, all right, and surprisingly, okay, the biotech sector did pretty well as well. Okay, all right, it is 32%. Semicon, okay, can consider tech as well. Okay, it is 42%. Okay, compared to the Nasdaq Composite. So if you drill down to so-called deeper into sectors and industry as well, okay, the industry that did pretty well was semicon and biotech. Okay, all right. So and in fact, some people also say that it is a year of a great divide. Okay, if you have been watching my live or been reading the news, people are talking about, oh, actually, in fact, a lot of these gains are also just driven by the large cap stock. Not false. It is, in a way, it is true if you're just strictly looking at the absolute return, okay, on the so-called index, like the large cap, the mid cap, and the small cap as well. Okay, so it is a double-digit return for the large cap. So if you invested in other smaller cap or mid cap, the return might not be that big. Okay, so it is still a positive return, but single digit. Okay, about 6% and then 4%. Okay, all right. Certain niche, okay, asset classes, of course, right now, by right, you should know, okay, gold and silver, okay, the indices, okay, it is a triple-digit return, 150% return, okay. ALP, this Alarian MLP, it is actually related to oil and gas as well, 152%. Okay, so just to let you know, so these are some of the things, okay, all right. So, so the VIX, all right, dropped pretty steeply after the the starting of the year, April tariff scare. How many of you can remember last year, last year, April, okay, Trump did the tariff thingy, okay, induced tariff on a lot of things, okay, and then the market had a big scare, dropped nearly about 20%, but after that, it recovered, okay, so I dropped, ended the year down to nearly 14%. So it is quite a drastic change. So in fact, after the tariff April, it was just a bull market all the way up until the end of the year. Okay, so just a report card over there, so you can take a look, or you want to do a screenshot. Okay, you also can, but generally, okay, the key indices double-digit return. Okay, the by size one, okay, small cap, mid cap are still doing okay, but not as good as the large cap. Semicon, biotech did extremely well. Okay, and then gold, silver, the precious metal did very well as well over there. Okay, all right. So these are the return from the Wall Street Journal over there. Okay. So also a very brief recap on what has happened last year. So let's go through with them one by one. Okay, again, you should be pretty familiar. Just a recap lah. Okay. All right. By the way, the slide's not bad, right? Okay, the slide pretty good, right? So this is actually done by Notebook LM from Google. In case you are interested to know some of the sharper eye one, you might be able to know. Okay, okay. So yeah. So again, I need to provide the context, the content. Then Notebook LM will actually do up the slides and also the content for me. I mean, summarize the content better than I can. So I think that okay. In fact, right now I think I'm using AI Gemini more than OpenAI ChatGPT. Okay, how about you guys? Okay, so in fact, if I do my own habits, if I monitor my own habits, the way I'm using the so-called all the AI tools, I roughly know already because I myself have also shifted a lot from ChatGPT, okay, to Gemini because I find that in terms of data analysis, Gemini is a lot faster. Image generation, okay, Nano Banana from Google is also a lot better. Okay, but I still do have my ChatGPT account lah. Okay, all right. How many of you agree with me if you are using both Gemini or ChatGPT? Okay, if you are only using just ChatGPT, okay, you can just type GPT in the comment. So at least I know your user habit as well. But based from the research and the data gathered, I do not have the screenshot right now, but actually ChatGPT is actually losing market share. I think previously it was about 80 or 70%, now dropped to 60+% only. So Gemini is actually gaining market share. Okay. So Taro is using both. I'm also using both, but I tend to gravitate more towards Gemini. Okay, so this is just a recap. So I mean that it is a V-shaped year. Oh, okay, so Chris is using Grok. So why are you using Grok? Okay, because it is free, is it? So that's why you use Grok more, is it? Because there's no cap or what? Okay, yeah, so V-shape. Okay, so like I mentioned just now, this is just a recap. Okay, the S&P 16%, NASDAQ 20%. Okay, all right. So Ken Yap say Gemini better, same as me lah. Okay, Gemini better. Okay, so just a recap. Remember, okay, at the start, April until April, it was the turmoil. Okay, from the Trump tariff, and after that, it is generally up all the way already. Okay, first the bad, then the good. So again, a recap over there. So what is so-called the storm and the sunshine, okay, that's causing the so-called the sell-off and also the rally. Of course, you know, if you're talking about the rally, okay, so far the economy is doing okay. There's no recession. So far the data is also doing okay. There's this rate cut, okay, as per the Fed, okay, there's no surprises, okay. When the Fed say cut, typically they will cut because nowadays the Fed does not like to give surprises to the market. They like to give in advance, okay, preparation to the market, okay, not sudden data releases, new releases or rate change suddenly, okay. And of course the AI story, the narrative still continue, okay. It's like it is still the AI narrative even for this year. The AI narrative is still ongoing. That's keeping the stock market that's going higher. Okay, earnings growth, there's still growth. Okay, so even though not as much as previously forecasted, but there is still growth. So that is causing, okay, last year, okay, the stock market to go higher. And of course, okay, by now you should know what is happening with the Trump, okay, so-called administration. And of course, I think at the start of the year, Trump also did something new lah. Okay, I mean that the not say the invasion, the capture of the Venezuela president, okay, in so-called and all this thing now. Okay, I mean that if I have time, I'll go through that lah. Okay, or is it all about okay, be the world savior, be a hero and help to govern the world? Do you really think so? I don't think so lah. Okay, it is a lot based on self-interest. okay, and to curb a few of the other countries like China. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, just type yes, okay. But anyway, all right, on paper, it is helping to curb the narco terrorism, okay. But anyway, this is Trump administration. All right, so yeah, the catalyst is after the tariff, the market just continued to go higher. Okay, so at the start of the year last year, there was this trade war, everything. There's a 10% or 25%, okay, imposed on the Canadian, and on China also 10% or something, 10% plus as well. Okay, all right, so at the very bottom of the sell-off, okay, in case you are not aware, so let's just head back to the S&P over here, okay, remember over there, okay, at the very bottom, from the peak to the bottom over there, okay, all right, it's about minus 14.7% drop, okay, plunge, okay, the liberation day lah. All right, so and after that the pivot changed everything. So in case you're not aware, okay, last year there is a 1 day 12.2% gain in the Nasdaq Composite. How many of you can remember? Maybe some of you have forgotten already, okay. Last year also 9.5% gain in a single day. So far I've not seen that other than in 2020, and after that will be this 2025 already, okay. So in case you're not aware of, back to the chart over there. This is the S&P 500. Can you see over there, this very big green chart over there, bar over there? It is a 9.5% gain. You might not remember, but it is not usual, okay, not usual. So the previous time I saw this is like in 2020 during the COVID crisis after the recovery. This one. Okay, so then the unleashing, the low was the April 7, okay, and then the market just continued to go higher. All right, so just a recap over there, from the absolute low, okay, from the absolute low, okay, to the 31st close. In fact, the Nasdaq was up 57%, Russell 2000 was up 43%, S&P is up 42%, okay, not the whole year growth, but from the absolute low, from the April low, okay. All right, so the return of the Trump put. So the market at last year also roughly know so-called Trump's 操款, the pattern. So, you know, whenever he say a tariff, okay, then he will flip rata, okay, and then he'll say, okay, I will do some so-called negotiation with the country, might not have such a heavy tariff, then the market will recover. So this is essentially the strategy for last year, okay. Trump say a tariff, okay, the market drop, then the market recover because Trump said that, you know, I will negotiate with them, etc. Okay, correct or not? All right. So last year, as I mentioned, there also wasn't any recession. So the GDP, okay, it is still growing, positive 4.3%. Also stronger than expected earning. Not as strong as previously expected, but it is still towards the end of the year. Okay, it is still stronger than expected from what the analyst is forecasting. Okay. Consumer wise, okay, the unemployment rate and everything, okay, they still have jobs, okay. So if they still have jobs, okay, unemployment rate remains below 5%, then I think everything is okay so far, okay. All right, so and then true rate cuts last year, okay, from September to December, so it is as a tailwind, okay, that provide the upside of the stock market, as long as the Fed does not provide any surprises. So as I mentioned, the Fed does not like to give surprises to the market nowadays. Okay, they cannot afford to do that. All right. So if you are just basing on what are the keywords for last year, so what are the so-called the animal spirit words lah? Okay, for last year, okay, you'll be a momentum by the deep lah. Okay, mega cap. Okay, mega cap. Okay, AI. Okay, something that towards the end of the year, quantum stocks, okay, space are also in there as well. Okay, so just a recap as well. This one I already mentioned already. Okay, so for the S&P sector performance, okay, last year comms was the best. Okay, then technology, in fact, all are positive. Only the real estate, okay, XLRE, the energy sector, is negative for the whole year. Okay, so 32%. So in case you wanted to know what are the component stocks in all this sector, okay, very simple. Okay, I can use back the ETF.com. Previously, ETF.com, it was actually gated, so need to pay to use. Okay, but I think after that they realized that okay, people cannot access the site, then people don't use, people don't read and all this, so they are back to ungated already. So you can use quite freely now. Of course, there are some newsletter that's paid, but other than that, you can use back ETF.com. So as I mentioned, if you want to know what is the component stock of XLC, the comms sector, you can just / XLC over there. So that's not gated. Okay, you can just head over to the holdings. Okay, then you'll know what are the stocks. Okay, in this XLC. Okay, Meta, Alphabet, Google last year did extremely well. Okay, Google basically Alphabet is Google. Okay, for technology stock, basically you can just go to XLK over here. Okay, XLK over there. What is the component stock? Okay, holdings. It should not be of surprises to you lah. Okay, you can see over there Nvidia is a bit small. Maybe I can just zoom in a little bit. Okay, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Palantir, AMD, etc. over there. All right, so now this is asking, okay, how is oil price going? Is there a massive additional supply now under US control? Okay, for the immediate wise, okay, the supply won't be immediate because, you know, it takes time to really dig out the oil, process the oil, okay, refine the oil. But they do have a lot of reserve, okay, for Venezuela over there. So where is it? Oh, this one. Let me just, okay. So where is it? Okay, let's head over to the chart first. Okay. In fact, okay, I was really wondering, hey, why XLE energy sector got a sudden surge on Friday. That Friday on the January on the 2nd of January on a Friday. Remember that, you know, Trump only announced, the US announced, okay, the capture of the Venezuela president only on the 3rd of January. That is a weekend. So on Friday, there was a surge, okay? So I was a little bit puzzled, why suddenly there is a surge, okay? But nevertheless, okay, I actually had entered into Devon Energy over there. So in fact, it was up, okay, up over there. In fact, I also entered somewhere around here, entered somewhere around there, okay, and then enter. So capture a good swing trade. Of course, price did come down, but you know, because I only do swing trading, okay, when there's profit, okay, hit my target, I will exit. So you can see that it is lucky, like hing, I managed to get out in time over there. So you can see that it really up already. So okay, so yes, that insider news people already know already, but in fact, oil, okay, did not really did exceptionally well. So you can see that XLE and the oil itself, there is not really correlated. XLE was doing quite okay. You can see that XLE, it is quite okay. It's going higher, right? XLE is going higher, right? Okay, but oil itself, it is not doing. What is it? Oil itself, it is not doing that well. It is not doing that well here. Okay, it's not correlated, not so correlated for now. Okay, just to let you know. So maybe I'll go through that. Okay, in fact, I have a presentation deck on this. This is based on the where is it? Let me find. Give me a moment. This one. Okay, the capture. Also you can see that the slide, like, very good. Okay, very nicely done. It is also by Notebook LM as well. Okay, for those, it can use for free, but there's some limitation cap now. Okay, because I subscribe to the AI plan for Google, so I can do quite a bit on the Notebook LM. Okay, anyway, so just a very brief recap over there. Okay, all right, so basically one event, two realities over there. So is it really true that, you know, as I mentioned, US wanted to be the savior, you know, help to defeat the dictatorship, help to counter the drugs cartel, etc. On paper, in the media, it says like this lah. Do you really believe it? Okay, you can tell me, but I don't think so. There's always self-interest lah. Okay, I mean, no, you mean that the US 吃饱没事做, every day go and fight other country just to help the world be so good to help you out? I don't think so, correct or not? So the official story, okay, to uphold the law, to protect the nation, okay, to remove the dictatorship, you know, to counter the narco terrorism, etc., the drugs, everything, don't bullshit, okay. So as I mentioned, it is to counter the narco terrorists, okay, on paper, restoring democracy, etc. Okay, all right. There's also a cartel. They want to remove the gang, etc. Okay, this is what the media it is telling us. Of course, by now you should be exposed right now to a lot of social media. You know what's the reason? No. Now it's not so easy to trick the so-called the citizens. Now, of course, you know, by common sense, you also know that it is not so simple, right? Correct or not? Okay. So, like, is it really the whole story or not? Okay. All right. So the of course, there is a self-interest purpose. Okay, not only that, it is based on the resources and also the fight for the influence. Okay, all right. Or in other words, I can say that okay, it is to remove the influence of certain country. Okay, China, it is one of them as well. Okay, I'm not sure whether you agree with me. Anyway, so these are not important. Okay. Of course, you know, people talk about the oil reserve. So Venezuela hold the world's largest proven oil reserve. Again, whether this oil reserve can be used, okay, immediately, not so immediate, okay, you know, it's not so easy to, you need all the infrastructure to refine, to process the oil, but they do have the largest proven oil reserve. So again, it is not about, okay, US wanting to capture the oil reserve immediately for the usage. In fact, US is the net exporter of oil, okay. It has more than enough oil for itself, okay. I mean, of course, if they capture more, then that is good, okay. But again, okay, Venezuela has been selling a lot of oil, to China and Russia as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not very sure, okay, I think they are not using US dollar, okay, to do the transaction. So for example, okay, Venezuela sell oil to China. I mean, I think it's using renminbi. So it is not using US dollar, etc. Okay, all right. So if you are not using US dollar, okay, there is a threat to the so much transaction, so much money, and you're not using US dollar to transact. So in order to maintain, okay, the world number one and also the reserve so currency, that's the world number one currency, okay, you need to continue to use the US dollar. So it's not doing that, and it is threatening the dominance of the US dollar. Okay, yeah, like using renminbi to trade, like Adrian Quack say, right? So okay, and not only that, okay, if so-called the Venezuela keeps supplying oil to China, then China will be very self-sufficient. Okay, don't need to depend on other country, US, for the oil, etc. Okay, and also transact and refine on its own, etc. So in other words, okay, I think there's two parts. Okay, first of all, okay, it is to protect the US dollar, and second, okay, is to prevent China, okay, to fuel their economies and military. So to prevent China from getting stronger by getting the so-called the unlimited oil from Venezuela. Okay, right now China is many things are already self-sufficient already. Okay, there are only a very few things that are not self-sufficient. For example, the chip technology that the US is trying very hard to contain them. Okay, the chip technology, the semicon technology, but I think that China is making leaps and bounds now. Okay, they are very close to like self-sufficient. Okay, you don't provide me, I use my own chip. You don't provide me this OS, I do my own OS, that kind of thing. If you don't give me oil, you don't sell me oil, I get from Venezuela, etc. Okay, so this is to deny the China and the Russia from getting stronger. So once again, at this point now, do you agree with me? If you agree with me, just type agree. If you disagree with me, you can just type disagree as well. Disagree BA. So at least I know that you are here listening to me, etc. Engage with me, okay? Like my comments, like my shares, like my Facebook page, YouTube, okay? Just do engage with me. I really appreciate that, okay? So I repeat, this is not about the US need, but the resource denier over there. So, okay, this is to maximum pressure to win. So, okay, this is to really also tell the world that, you know, if you don't use the US dollar and and do this kind of stupid things, okay, this is what will happen to you, okay? Is it against the international law, you know, just to go invade the country and capture? It is lah, but you know, they are the biggest ma, they are the biggest ma. So you know, 我最大，我讲话算数 okay? So don't need to argue with them, okay? Because they are the biggest, they have the best military power in the world, okay? All right, so this is, like I mentioned, right, to cut the threat from Russia, China, Iran, etc. Okay, so the official story, okay, from the media telling a very nice story is to arrest the president because he's a drug trafficker. Okay, there's a cartel to get rid of. Okay, to counter the the drug terrorism. Okay, and oil industry returning wealth to people, bullshit lah. So the primarily goal is to, of course, regime change. Okay, and to so-called the cut off the influence from Russia and the Chinese, okay, and to stop their power, okay, all right, and also, of course, if you get more oil, why not, okay, securing the global supply chain as well, okay. So again, this is what we call the decapitation strike, okay, all right. So it is about reclaiming the U.S. dominance in the that area, okay. All right, so the rest are not important. So basically, this is essentially what I want to cover lah. So this is, I think I covered quite a lot of the macro things for the last year and this year as well. So let's head back to the stock chart right now over there. So the market has been doing quite okay right now, okay? So just a quick show of hand here. How many of you think that this year it is going to be a bullish market? If you think there's going to be a bullish market in 2026, okay, type bull, all right? So if you think that it is going to be a bearish market, okay, type bear, okay, type bear. So just want to have a consensus, okay, a view of what you guys are thinking or looking at before I continue over there, okay. So before I continue, okay, let me know whether you think that it is going to be a bull or bear, okay. So do engage with me. Hubert say bear, Adrian say bull, Pei Wen say bear. Tessa Teo, are you the one that I met you at the MRT station and you say hi to me? If you are, can just say yes. Is it? I think it should be you lah. Is it? Correct or not? All right. Yeah. So Richard say bull. Okay. So it's still 50-50. Okay. Tarun says single digit bull. Hadley say bull. But I think a lot of these analysts are thinking that this year is going to be a bull market as well. Okay. But when a lot of people say bull market, I'm actually a little bit cautious. But again, it is very hard to predict, okay, what the market will do. You can see that, you know, starting of the year, this year, Trump already have thrown a curveball to us already. Okay, the invasion of the Venezuela, etc. So it's quite hard to predict. But you know, my view, it is very simple, okay, because you know I'm the founder of SVI, Seasonal Vantage Insiders. Okay, typically I like to just have a anticipation of what could happen, not exactly a prediction, but anticipate what could happen. So I think I mentioned that during last year also, where I shared with you, this year is the midterm. Let me go to the board, okay, the midterm election year, okay, midterm election year over there. So you guys can see over there, I mentioned, I think last year, okay, it was in December of last year, okay, based on the past 75 years, okay, on over 19 cycles, okay, of election cycle, okay. All right, so this year 2026 is actually a midterm election year. Second year Trump is into this cycle, okay. And typically since 1950, based on the past 75 years, okay, typically, okay, midterm tends to be a little bit more, not say a little bit, it tends to be more choppy, okay, and more volatility, okay. And can see that from the start of the year until the last quarter of the year, it is not that well. And based on historical data, okay, the last quarter of the year tends to be a good rally, okay. I also want to let you know that this doesn't mean that the market is going to crash, okay, from January to February, okay. from April to September. This is not how you read the seasonal trend. So again, just look at the peak and the trough, the top, the swing high and the swing low. So use it as a kind of a trend reversal timing for you. Okay, again, this doesn't mean that the market is going to crash here. Okay, I mean, it could be ranging bound, not doing that well, okay, consolidating, but it just tells us that if we really want to buy, okay, maybe February will be a good time to enter the market. Okay, all right, then in mid to late April, okay, will be a good time to sell if the market is going to come down, have a pullback or range, that kind of thing. Or the market can be choppy for like second half to third quarter of the year, that kind of thing. So this is what the midterm election cycle started. I mean that for this year. Okay, in case you are not aware, okay, let's have a recap of what actually happened last year as well. This is based on the seasonal trend. I think I mentioned that this during the the SCBI member gathering, okay, but I mean, this is okay, I mean, I just share with the public. Okay, so I superimpose that on actual S&P. Okay, the dark blue is actually the actual S&P 500. Okay, the lighter blue one in the background here, okay, it is actually the seasonal trend, okay, for post-election year. Okay, for post-election year. So once again, I mentioned, right, this doesn't mean the market is going to crash, but somehow it like in sync, okay, it crashed. But again, look at the peak and the trough as well. Okay, so for example, over there, okay, this is the bottom, okay, over there. Okay, can see over there, right? This is the bottom over there. Okay, it could be a good time, okay, to buy, okay, to buy in the market. So you can see that if you buy here, the market is still generally grinding up, the kind of thing, before the market come down. Okay, can you see? All right, and then okay, somehow that if you are looking for opportunity to buy, okay, you can see over there. All right, based on the seasonal data, somewhere around here, and it is exactly the same when the Liberation Day. It is also at the bottom over there. Okay, then you write all the way up. Okay, so like again, this is where it so-called, in a way that it's not so accurate, but okay, if you sell, you also have very good profit over there. So if you really want to sell, okay, then this will be a good time to come down, okay. But again, like I said, okay, look at the peak and the bottom as well. Okay, not looking at the magnitude of the fall. It doesn't work that way. So once again, you can see that this shows us that June, towards the end of June, this will be a good area to buy in if you really want to buy. So again, you can see over there from here, okay, it just goes higher as well. Okay, but again, over here, if you want to sell, okay, you can consider selling. But again, we are in an overall bullish market. Okay, all right. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to sell if you're holding long term. Of course, short term position trading, up to you as well. Okay, once again, it doesn't mean that the market is going to crash. Okay, it just tells you that, okay, if you want to get into the market again, this here, late September, would be a good time to get into the market. Okay, can see over there, right? It is somewhere around here, all right? And the market continue just to grind higher. So if you want again, when is a good time to buy again, this will be the bottom. Again, it doesn't mean that the market is going to crash or have pull back over there. Okay, but very close to it, it goes higher. It goes higher. Okay, so once again, good time to buy at the end of December. Okay, it just continue to go higher. So once again, I just want to tell you that, okay, it works the same for the midterm election as well. It doesn't mean that the market is going to crash here. Okay, it just tells us that if you wanted to buy, okay, this could present a buying opportunity in February, okay, and then for example, in June or in September. Are you clear so far? Okay, if you are clear, just type yes. Again, this is not 100% accurate. Okay, nothing works 100%. If everything is so tuned based on seasonal, okay, then everybody just follow that and make money. Obviously it doesn't. Okay, so we have to not only look at the seasonal, okay, you have to also look at the price action, okay, look at the market sentiment, market internals, okay, market breadth, okay, the options flow, data, etc. So you need to look at a myriad of things to tell you what the market could be doing, okay, not just solely on the seasonal trend, okay, but this will be good as a a roadmap for you to anticipate what the market could be doing. Okay, or I mean that, you know, of course, for the SVI members and for those who are in the Alpha group chat, every week you should see this. Okay, for those who are not from SVI, okay, and such, right? And you want to do, you can do a screenshot or whatever it is, okay, all right. But for the SVI board members, okay, I have all the rest, like S&P, Russell, dollar index, crude oil, and other indices as well over there, okay. So this is from my own analysis of data. In fact, Larry Williams also has its his data, so-called his cycle data as well. Okay, I'm just going to share with you. I think pretty much similar over there. You guys can see, right? Oops. Let me just. So this is from his yearly cycle forecast. So this is going to be just a summary. Okay, I obviously cannot show everything. Okay, so this is based on Larry Williams 2026 forecast. Okay, so he expects that it will be an early year decline and will set up a rally from summer onwards. Okay, all right, so that is from July, August onwards. Okay, so it's pretty much in sync of the midterm election. Not exactly the same, but almost there. You can see that also, like the first half of the year, it is going to be a weak early year decline. So he said that, you know, there'll be a decline. Okay, the primary cycle model indicates a decline beginning around mid-February, that kind of thing. Okay, right. So early decline down 70% of the time. Okay, then towards the end of second half of the year, it tends to be a good buying point if you wanted to buy. Okay, all right. Of course, nobody knows. We are still at the start of the year and we don't know what other so-called events is coming up, another curveball, okay, or another black swan event, or any geopolitical things that can happen anytime during the year. Okay, and then strong year-end rally, okay, up 90% of the time. So this is based on Larry forecast. Okay, and then also he also has this decennial cycle, and also followed by what I meant by the presidential cycle, which I mentioned. Okay, so based on the decennial pattern, okay, every year, okay, that has ending with a 6. So this year it is actually 2026, right? Okay, again, since 1936 shows weakness beginning in May with an important low in late July. So almost all pointing that, okay, the first half of the year are weaker. Okay, I mentioned this align with the main cycle forecast. Okay, late July, okay, then could be the time where the market might have a bullish so-called upside. Okay, all right. And then of the presidential cycle, the second year of the presidential cycle, historically see weakness into the summer, like what I mentioned just now. Typically towards the end of the year, then have a year-end rally. Okay, all right. Yeah, so this is from Larry Williams as well. So do you guys get some insights from me and from Larry Williams? If you happen to, you think that you get some good insights, okay, once again, okay, just type me in the comments over here. So at least let me know that you find my so-called data useful, etc. At least give you a roadmap of what could happen. Of course, you wanted to know individual, okay, what are the stocks, what are the sectors that could, okay, perform well. Then of course you have to join my SVI member. Okay, for example, this is the web database where I uploaded, okay, the specific date range for all the stocks, the bullish stocks, for the bearish stocks, for etc. Okay, I don't mind sharing a little bit, for example, like the bullish ETF over there. Okay, at the start of the year, okay, Invesco's so-called the aerospace and defense ETF, okay, PPA, ITA, it is doing quite well. Okay, ITA, for example, aerospace and defense, okay, it is doing quite also. It is like the with the seasonal trend as well. Okay, all right. So yeah, so the seasonal data, it is not to predict or to be 100% sure, but to help you, okay, pick stocks and ETF better with a better timing. Okay, all right. So you know, you already have a watch list of stocks or ETF to trade, okay, at the right place at the right time. Okay, yeah, anyway, this is that. Okay, all right, so I've come to the end of the session for the tonight. Okay, so like I mentioned, I might not be doing every Tuesday, but if I have live, it will be on a Tuesday. Okay. Any other questions so far? Any other questions so far? Right. I'll give you maybe 1 minute. You have question, then just type in the chat. Okay. All right. So if you enjoy my session tonight, okay, you find value, okay, just type value in the comments, okay, or type letter V in the comments as well. So before I go off, also want to just a quick reminder that we have the Trading Carnival that's happening on the 31st of January, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Suntec Convention Center. I'll post the link in the chat, and also the so-called the QR code over there. So basically, it is this. So start of the year, okay, it is good to have a good trading plan, trade with clarity, and get access to the market outlook from our top traders and speakers as well. So once again, there is two types of ticket, VIP and general ticket. You can just register. Okay, so let me just share with you who are the speakers. Okay, we have Jaytun, okay, Muhammad Alamer, Alvin Chow, okay, Chloe Lin, and also Terence Wong from Zoo Capital. So these will be the key speakers that will share with you their outlook, okay, and their analysis for the 2026 year. Okay. All right, so do register for this event. Okay, it is free. I'll post the link once again in the comments. Okay, so with that, all right, I think that's the end of the live stream tonight. Just nice, okay, about 1 hour. All right, so with that, thank you so much. Okay, I will see you guys again hopefully next week. Good night, 晚安，拜拜，and 再见。